Hey everyone, in this video I will be telling you an original story called The Whispering Isle, while photoshopping an image that captures an important moment in the story. So, let's get into it. In the heart of the uncharted waters, shrouded by an eternally dense fog, lies Isla Susurro, or as the locals call it, the Whispering Isle. Despite its alluring mystery, fishermen steer clear, and sailors whisper of its curse in hushed tones. It was the perfect lure for Alex and his friends, Mia, Jake, and Sarah, thrill seekers at heart, looking for an adventure to break the monotony of their sea journey. The island emerged from the mist like a specter, its cliffs towering ominously over their small boat. The local guide they'd hired refused to step foot on the shore, muttering old wives' tales of vanished explorers and twisted fates. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, the group disembarked, stepping onto the damp, rocky soil that seemed to swallow the sound of their footsteps. As they ventured deeper, the fog thickened, and the lush greenery seemed to close in around them. The air was heavy, filled with the scent of salt and decay. It wasn't long before they stumbled upon the remnants of what looked like a village, its structures crumbling and reclaimed by nature. It was as if the island itself had devoured its inhabitants, leaving no soul to tell its tale. But it was the silence that unnerved them the most. No birds sang, and even the wind seemed to hold its breath, as if afraid to disturb whatever lay resting in the depths of the isle. Their laughter and banter, once a shield against the creeping dread, now seemed out of place, swallowed by the oppressive atmosphere. The initial thrill of adventure began to sour, as the island's eerie beauty revealed an undercurrent of malice. Unseen eyes seemed to watch from the shadows, and whispers, too faint to grasp, danced just beyond hearing. They should have heeded the warnings, turned back to the safety of their boat. But curiosity urged them deeper into the heart of the Whispering Isle. As they ventured further, the island's eerie silence became a pressing weight on their spirits. The once vibrant banter among the friends had tapered off to uneasy glances and whispered concerns. They found themselves in what appeared to be the main square of the village, the ground overtaken by wild flora that seemed too vibrant for a place so devoid of life. The remnants of a fountain stood at the center, its once intricate designs eroded by time, now hosting a colony of moss and lichen. It was here they noticed the peculiar absence of wildlife, an unsettling void where not even the buzz of insects filled the air. The dilapidated buildings around them bore the scars of abrupt abandonment, doors left ajar, belongings scattered as if their owners would return at any moment. Yet, the layers of dust and encroaching vegetation told a different story. Curiosity led them to explore the desolate homes and storefronts, each room a tableau of life suddenly halted. In a small house on the edge of the square, Alex found a photograph, its edges curled and faded, portraying a family of 4, smiles frozen in time. It was a stark reminder of the island's mysterious past, evoking questions with no answers in sight. The exploration took a turn when Mia, peering through the broken window of what once was a schoolhouse, swore she saw a shadow move in the reflection. Yet, when they circled back, nothing was amiss except for the unsettling feeling of being watched. It was then, amidst the growing unease, that they first heard it, a whisper, as if carried by the wind, calling out a name that none could quite catch. It was this moment that transformed their adventure into a quest for understanding, or perhaps a desperate bid for escape from the Whispering Isle's clutches. The group, now palpably tense, decided to split up, rationalizing that covering more ground would hasten their discovery of the island's secrets. Jake and Sarah ventured towards the coastline, hoping to find clues among the wreckage of boats long ago dashed against the rocks. Meanwhile, Alex and Mia, drawn by an inexplicable pull, headed toward the dense forest that blanketed the heart of the island. It was in the shade of those ancient trees that Alex stumbled upon an old, leather-bound diary, its pages yellowed with age. The handwriting within was frantic, detailing the slow unraveling of the island's community. Whispers in the night that grew into voices, compelling the villagers towards unknown fates. The diary's final entry spoke of a darkness that fed on fear and despair, hinting at a malevolent force at the island's core. As they delved deeper, the island seemed to come alive around them. Shadows twisted into grotesque shapes, slinking away when approached. Time felt distorted, the sun's position unchanging despite hours passing. The sense of being watched intensified, and the whispers grew more frequent, now carrying snippets of conversation, pleas, and screams, all intertwining into a cacophonous symphony that seemed to emanate from the very earth. The decision to reunite became urgent as each occurrence chipped away at their resolve. However, the island had other plans. Paths that should have led them back to each other now spiraled into dead ends or looped back on themselves. It was as if the landscape itself was shifting, ensnaring them in a labyrinthine trap. Separated and ensnared by the island's bewitching landscape, each friend found themselves facing horrors tailored to their deepest fears. The island, now a sentient predator, toyed with them, blurring the lines between reality and nightmare. Alone on the beach, Jake encountered the wrecks of countless ships, their hulls gaping open like the maws of giant beasts. Among the debris, he saw figures moving, spectral sailors condemned to relive their final moments. As he tried to flee, the sand beneath his feet turned to tar, pulling him down, whispering of the deep, cold darkness waiting to embrace him. His fear of the ocean, once a mere discomfort, was magnified into a terror that clawed at his mind. Sarah found herself in what looked like an overgrown greenhouse. Inside, the plants were alive in a way that defied nature, their vines reaching for her, whispering her name. Blooms opened to reveal eye-like structures that followed her every move. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and as she tried to escape, she realized the greenhouse was mimicking her childhood home, turning her nostalgia into a prison of thorns and shadows. In the heart of the forest, Alex came upon a clearing where the trees seemed to breathe, their trunks twisting into faces that mouthed silent words. Here, the diary's author appeared, not as a ghost, but as a living person, beckoning Alex to join in an eternal dance of madness. The whispers became clear, recounting Alex's deepest regrets and unspoken fears, tempting with promises of oblivion. Mia, drawn to the remains of a chapel, found herself locked into a sequence of rooms, each revealing scenes from her past, where she felt most alone and vulnerable. The whispers here were accusatory, feeding on her guilt and insecurities. The final room held a mirror showing not her reflection but an abyss, pulling at her essence, threatening to erase her identity. In their isolation, the friends confronted not just the physical manifestations of their fears, but the psychological echoes within themselves. The island's curse preyed upon their minds, seeking to consume their sanity. Realizing their experiences were not just personal trials, but keys to understanding the island's curse, the friends managed to break through the illusions and regroup. With their sanity hanging by a thread, they shared their discoveries, understanding that the source of the island's power lay in its ability to manifest fear. Guided by the diary's clues, they traced the malevolent force to a hidden cave system, rumored to be the heart of the Whispering Isle. Inside, they found not just the entity, but a prison of souls, the lost villagers and explorers, trapped in a cycle of despair feeding the darkness. The confrontation was both mental and physical, as the entity used their fears against them in a final bid to consume their spirits. It was their bond, the shared determination to survive, that turned the tide. By facing their fears together, they weakened the entity's grip on reality, allowing them to fight back. Using symbols of their deepest fears as weapons, they challenged the entity, each blow weakening the barrier between the island and the outside world. With a final, desperate effort, they shattered the entity's hold, the cave collapsing around them as they fled. Battered and bruised, both physically and emotionally, the survivors emerged at the break of dawn, the island's oppressive atmosphere lifting. The fog receded, revealing a path to their boat, now strangely untouched by the island's corruption. As they sailed away, the Whispering Isle receded into the mist, a silent testament to their ordeal. They were left with scars, visible and invisible, and the memory of those lost to the island's curse. A pact was made then, a vow of silence about what had occurred, each knowing that some truths were too horrific to share. But the Whispering Isle's hunger was merely sated, not vanquished. In the distance, another boat approached, its passengers oblivious to the horrors that awaited. And so, the cycle continued, the island whispering once more, calling to those who dared to uncover its secrets.